shit on. Welcome to the Brazil Expat Journal, the BJ you can trust. What's up, people? Hopefully, we won't have as many tech issues this week as we did last week. It sounds a little bit better. At least the intro music kind of did a little skip in the beginning, but seems like we're okay. I think last week, Pete, we had so many. Oh, Peter, that coffee.
I know. I'm sorry. I was looking for the mute button, but I found it too late.
I heard it deep in the insides of my ears. But anyway, guys, I think last week we had way too many things on the channel and it was just bugging out. But we had a lot of fun. Eventually it smoothed out a little bit. I just couldn't share anything. But if you're into World Cup or not, like Pete, we had fun with Pete because he was doing a quiz and trying to figure out all the soccer.
Yeah, Canada scored 5 goals, man. Canada,
Nice.
I don't think Canada has scored 5 goals in the history of the World Cup.
There you go. You gave him good luck. I didn't even know Canada was playing. So there you go. You gave him good
Well,
luck.
they're the host country, so they get an automatic invite.
So Pete knows more about World Cup than I do. I actually didn't know that little tidbit. But that's nice. That's nice. It's because usually they do it in countries where the teams are already like World Cup level most of the time. Did Qatar play then in the Qatar World Cup? I don't remember. But anyway.
Yeah, actually, a movie recommendation for our listeners is Mexico 86, which is a World Cup themed movie about how Mexico got to host the World Cup in 1986. It stars Diego Luna in a great performance. But it's mostly about corruption in FIFA, actually.
Mexico,
like how Mexico got to host the World Cup was mostly about bribery and corruption. But and it's a comedy too. It's a farce. So yeah, if you're in the World Cup spirit and you want to watch a movie that kind of inflates your World Cup spirit, that's the movie for you.
All right, good recommendation. I think I've seen bits of this documentary somewhere. By the way, hello, Life Is. How are you? Welcome to the show. Tonight we're talking São Paulo Life Is. We are going to go deep diving into São Paulo, the interior, some stuff I found out today. I was, kind of researching it. And it should be really fun. But this movie Peter's talking about is it came out in 2026, so it's a recent one. Okay, I think
brand new
about this. Oh, it's on Netflix. I might check that out because I do know about this cup. It's a lot of. Is this the one where Argentina kind of folded and let I think it was Uruguay or Paraguay just like beat them by 7 goals so that Brazil?
Well, I don't know because they don't actually like dwell on the World Cup that much. They dwell on the Mexican team, right? Okay. And the Mexican team gets eliminated fairly early because it's Mexico.
I see. Yeah, because I guess 2 famous controversies with the World Cup. One is the famous, Mão de Deus, the hand of God, where
the hand of God, yes,
just helped. He helped the ball a little bit. But then the other one, and correct me, all you World Cup.
That was 1972, I think.
I don't know. I'm not a big Maradona fan, but the other one I think was also around the 70s. This might have been a little later, Pete. It might have been in the 80s because they made it close to the finals in the 80s, Maradona. In the 70s, Brazil kind of dominated, except that there's this one World Cup that's very famous for having this controversy with the water, where it's like the players got sick. I think it was Argentina versus Brazil, and the players got a little bit sick, and this, that, and the third. And then, which is a possibility to happen. It would be wild if this happens, because when you're in the group stage, that's why, Pete, sometimes you get frustrated in the group stage, because you're like, okay, the game ends in a tie or ends 1-1. But it's in the group stage, it's about points. Whoever wins the most games.
Whoever scores the most goals.
That's the thing. That's the key. Because really you want to win the game. Because if it's a tie, then it's about who scored the most goals, which is how Argentina used this against Brazil, because they were playing them in the group stage. Apparently, they're in the same group. And then there's this team that apparently I think they paid them off or something to just let us beat you by 7 goals because we just need like 2 extra goals to get to the next phase and Brazil will be left behind. So technically, I think that could happen to Brazil. Now, I got to research it a little bit more because they tied their first game. They won their second game 3-0 or 3-1. I think it was 3-zip against Haiti. But now Haiti is going to play Morocco, which is the first team that Brazil played, where they tied. And if Morocco gets a whole lot of goals against Haiti, well, I guess maybe it'll be Brazil and Morocco. I think they take 2 teams, so maybe I'm wrong. I was thinking they could knock Brazil out. So, okay, I kind of figured out the mystery. Okay. I know nothing about soccer football. Who are you predicting to win the World Cup? I have no clue life is. I've seen Argentina, and Messi is incredible. Like, the stuff he did today was like, what the hell? Like, the guy's just genius-level soccer player. He got a hat trick the last game. He got all 3 goals himself. It should have been a 4th almost. He was offsides. And then today, the game, I think, was 1-0. But he made – no, 2-0. And he made both of those goals, which was incredible. The second goal was just like, watch those highlights. You're like, how the hell did he manage to get out, control that ball the way that he did? He is genius level soccer player. Many people consider him the GOAT. Ooh, excuse me, guys, the greatest of all time. But, you know, Pele is there, guys. Pele. Anyway.
Yeah, and Pele is actually featured in this movie. This is like,
yeah, he played in the 70s.
No, this is the funniest aspect of it because Mexico is competing against the United States to host the World Cup, and the United States has Pele and Henry Kissinger on their side, right? So they go in they go in there with all the weapons. It's like the United States is like, look, we're not a big soccer country, but you know, FIFA is corrupt, so like anything you need done for you, Henry Kissinger can do it. And Pele is supporting us too. And Diego Luna goes in there with nothing. And he completely screws them over and he gets the World Cup for Mexico. How that World Cup turns out, I couldn't tell you because the movie doesn't tell you because it's not important, right? What's important about the movie is that Mexico got the World Cup. 86.
Yeah, I got it. West Germany.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, sorry. Argentina. So this is the Hand of God one. I told you it was in the 80s. I told you it was where Maradona did his little thing. So it's Argentina won the 86 FIFA World Cup, defeating West Germany 3-2. Okay, so there you go. In the 80s, yeah, because Maradona. When I was younger, I used to always associate him with the 70s, but he's actually like a generation after this because he started in the 70s, but he was really like Maradona, the god, in the 80s. You know, with all the cocaine and everything. But anyway, guys, let's get to it. Yeah, the cocaine was flowing with Maradona, man, for real. But he was a great player, though. I mean, it's just not my favorite, but a lot of power. I'm trying to share the screen, Pete, here. I'm going back and forth like an idiot. I was going to use a different word, but we are PG rated, guys. We are PG rated. All right, I'm going to share the screen, guys, because today on the way to work. Oh, and by the way, those of you that were expecting Brandon to come tonight, sorry, he's not going to be on, okay, because he had a gig on today. And I totally get him because when you play, and I'm tired usually on a Monday because I work at a high school, you know, I got to deal with kids. But it's one thing being tired from school and work. It's another thing being tired from playing. And people that play for real, and Brandon plays for real, you use up all of your energy, man. You don't want to, like, you can barely talk afterwards. You're just like drained. So I get it. Okay. So we will have him on. Brandon's a really nice guy. I really love him. And he's a great artist, musician. He's doing a lot of cool stuff down here in Brazil. Pete, I don't know if Pete knows who's going to win the World Cup.
Yeah, I don't even know.
I don't think I know. Nobody really knows. I think Spain. I think Spain's a favorite. I asked my kids today. I was like, because the battle today was them doing assignments or watching the World Cup game. You know, Argentina versus whoever the hell. And apparently Spain and France are the favorites. France is playing as we speak, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, So on the way to work, I was like, all right, let me have a backup plan in case, Brandon can't make it on. And this came up, and I suggest following this if you're on Instagram, the site O Melhor do Interior de SP, which translates to the best of the interior of São Paulo. And we talk a lot on this channel about how wonderful São Paulo is, but we talk a lot about the city, but the state itself is quite wonderful too. And it's very, we use this word a lot, underrated, in the sense that a lot of people don't talk about it. When they talk about interiors of Brazil, Minas Gerais is probably number one, of course. Beautiful, beautiful place, and maybe some places in the northeast when you start to get to Maranhão and a lot of these beautiful areas. But people really sleep on São Paulo. And guys, as someone who's gone down to the shore many times, who's gone towards the west many times, the countryside of São Paulo is some of the most beautiful stuff you will ever see. And just so you get an idea, São Paulo is almost 250,000 square kilometers of area, guys. So you can fit like the United
90
Kingdom,
million people.
Romania. Yes, it's a lot, guys. It's the size of entire country. So when you start traveling west into the countryside of any of Brazilian states, because even Minas is bigger than São Paulo, if I'm not mistaken. When I went to Bahia by bus, it seemed like Minas would never end. Like majority, like it felt like 60% of that trip was just crossing Minas Gerais. It's a long and wide state. So you can fit like whole countries inside of São Paulo. Okay. And so there's a lot to see, and you will feel like you just went to a whole different country too. I think that's the part that's most interesting for travelers, is it's just like in the same way that, New Jersey, where I grew up, is a small state. If I drive for 8 hours, and some of these places, you can be in a car for 8 hours to get there, you're in a totally different part of the country, different accent, different food, different everything. So you get that a lot if you travel around here in mostly all the Brazilian states. Most of them.
Yeah, that was the weirdest thing for me
in São Paulo City. Go ahead.
Well, that was the weirdest thing for me about living in Thailand, is because, I came from Canada, which is a huge country, and then I moved to China, which is a huge country, and then I lived in Thailand, which is a country where, like, if you drive for 4 hours in any direction, you're either going to be in another state or you're going to be in the ocean. Like it's a really different perspective.
Yeah. And here you just keep going and going and going and going. And for me, it was weird too. Even just the city itself was weird because I'm a walker, so even if I would go up to Manhattan, if I went to, I lived in Philly for a while, I'd walk that whole city and it felt like it was manageable. It'd take about an hour to go from like west to South Philly or wherever you want to go. But here, you can be on a bus for an hour and you're still like not even close to the edge of the city. It's like really, really long. I remember my friend John, who was on the show before, he invited me to go, I don't know, somewhere, dude. To this day, I got to ask him where the hell we went, but it was close to a landfill. It was so far. Like he went to visit some family. I didn't even know why I went with him. But it's a huge city. But check this out. We'll talk about the city in a little bit. Now I want to focus a little bit on the state. And you can see the green, guys. It's like super, super green. And I like this this post, and it says 10 cities in the interior of São Paulo. Let me go back one. Yeah, 10 cities in the interior of São Paulo that you didn't even know existed. You know what? They're totally right. I kind of pride myself in being a little bit knowledgeable about what's going on down here, but I've never heard about any of these cities. So the first one is called Indiaporã. It's about 8 to 9 hour drive far. It's about an 8 to 9 hour drive away from São Paulo. It's about 620 kilometers distance, and it's mostly known for its nature. Okay, freshwater recreation, reserves, rivers, fishing, boating, and guys, there's only 4,000 people in the city. So when you start to get to these tiny cities, it's really cute. Like you get to meet the locals, and it's like they all kind of know each other. And this is not a place obviously you go to work, but it's a place that you go to just get away from something for like a month, a week or so. This next one here, Pete, Narandiba. By the way, these names, look at this church. It's a wacky looking church. So Narandiba, again, it's about 570 kilometers away, 5,000 people, agriculture interior, Western Sao Paulo, rural landscape, small town life. And then we have Isen. Okay, I'm just kind of running through this, and then we'll talk more about the capital. And I plan to go to one of these places. But guys, again, the idea is here, just see how much you can do in Brazil and not just stay in Zona Sul of Rio de Janeiro. Yes, same. There's large rivers, beautiful views from everywhere. You get access to the Rio Grande region, so a lot of fishing, water sports. And then we have this place called Mira Estrela, which is check out. Oh, look at that, Pete! They got like stars all in their sidewalk. The name of the city is Target the Stars. So laser. Oh, you can play laser tag. Let me see. I gotta fit out relaxation and leisure along river and reservoir shores, popular with anglers and boaters. What's up with this laser? Can you play laser tag on the river? Let me see here. Laser Mira Estrela. What do they mean by laser? Let's see. The main attraction in this city called Mira Estrela, apparently pointing this astronomical laser up to the stars. So I guess it's good for like stargazing, which, by the way, Pete, have you noticed the moon is really nice? We got like two planets, like one on the top, one at the bottom. Real nice views of the evening sky, although we are in the big old city with a lot of light pollution. All right, next is Itapura, where you can see a lot of rivers and a lot of nature in Itapura. It's about an 8 to 9 hour drive again. Okay, a lot of reservoirs, fishing, access to stretches of the Paraná river system. When you start to get to Paraná, you get a lot more nature too. Look at this nice waterfall there in Paulo de Faria, getting a little bit closer to São Paulo City, 6 to 7 hour drive, a lot of recreation, reservoirs, fishing, peaceful countryside setting. And then you get a city called Rifaina. I don't know how to pronounce that. Ooh, that looks nice, Pete. Looks like a place where you can they have like a freshwater beach.
It looks like Jaws, actually.
Well, they do have these saltwater sharks down here, so maybe. Not saltwater, freshwater type sharks. I'm pretty sure they do down here. So you might meet Jaws' cousin. Rifaina, 480 kilometers away from São Paulo, so about a 5 to 6 hour drive, famous for freshwater beach called Praia, boating. And actually, if you're in São Paulo, this area here, I've shown this before on this show. I used to take my little dude there when he was little, which is Guarapiranga. In Guarapiranga, have you ever been there, Pete, to Guarapiranga?
No, I've never been anywhere.
It's this place here in São Paulo, which you can see right there in the pictures. There's, wow, look at that image. There's all of São Paulo. Look how crazy São Paulo is, Pete. Like that's all buildings, and then you have the reservoir. So there's a big reservoir here called Guarapiranga. In fact, you know what?
Right. That's like our beach, basically.
Yes, but it was that dude that got found mutilated there. We did this show on like weird X-Files stuff in Brazil. And one of the weird X-Files is that the same way they have that cattle mutilation where everything's taken out with like laser precision, they found a dude there. Look it up, guys. Like the pictures are kind of graphic, so I'm not going to show it. But look at the immensity of São Paulo. But then, yes, guys, this is the most important like reservoir in the city, other than Billings. Billings is really important too, and it's actually really pretty. Maybe one day I'll post some of the videos I got there when the kids were little. I used to take them there. We went on a boat ride. Yeah. Similar, like right there. There's a little island in the middle. Yeah, there's the island. There. Yeah, there's a little island there in the middle that you can go to.
It's so, like our beach, cool basically.
It is, because some Paulistas don't have a beach. So actually, technically, if you speak to people from São Paulo, they always say the shopping mall is their beach, because they get all dressed up, they do this, they do that, and there's air conditioners, so when it's really, really hot out. But
they are building an artificial beach in Itaimbebe, apparently.
I saw that. It's yeah, that's weird.
But you're gonna have to pay.
But anyway, well, maybe not weird. Maybe I'll. Yeah, and I just don't know if I'd want to be with the people that are there. And that's another thing, guys. Guarapiranga, if you ask like the uppity Brazilians, they're like, oh, never we'd go there because look at that, it's not pretty enough for them. This is like regular folks, that just want to get wet, It's not all pretty. It's in the middle of the sea, so what do you expect? But it's clean, the little island area is really nice. And actually, they have these really nice homes. You can see here on the other side, you see they have the sailboats. There's a lot of famous, there's the island right there. There's a lot of famous sailors that live right around there. And they got these mansions on the other side of the dam. But yeah, usually the rich folks and the middle class poor folks don't mix. So I don't know if I'd want to go to that beach because it'd be a lot of people I'm not like big into. Anyway, the fake beach. So we have here Rifaina, but I checked this place. This is the closest one, by the way. This place called Salisopolis. So much so that the people in the comments got mad. They're like, to say that nobody knows Salisopolis is to abuse our intelligence. Apparently, Salisopolis is only 100 kilometers. It's about a 2-hour drive. It's the source of the Chiete River. Now, I've heard a lot of wonderful things. I have a very good friend called Wagner who has family in a place called Chiete, if I'm not mistaken, which is not Chiete here in São Paulo, Chiete, but it's an actual city in the interior called Chiete. And the Chiete River, which Pete usually describes as like a ditch, what do you call it? Which it pretty much
is. A ditch. It is a ditch.
Yeah, it's not really a river. This is the Chiete, guys. It's one of the most polluted, disgusting.
Well, it's no, it's not that. It's the fact that it's been built over. Like it's been built over so heavily that.
Yes, well, that's true. Yeah, this is true. So if you look at
just basically a ditch.
Chiete River. Let's try like that. Let's try it. Yeah. Well, these are not good pictures because these are actually nice pictures. You got to see let me put it in Portuguese. Rio Chiete, São Paulo. So for those that don't know the geography, which I imagine is many of you, São Paulo is kind of cut in half by these. It's actually like one big river, but since it kind of curves to the right,
it's two. There you got the Pinheiros in the west, and you have the Chiete in the east.
Yeah, but they kind of merge, and then they go different directions.
Yeah, but the Pinheiros is a sewer, and Chiete has been built over so heavily that it doesn't resemble a river. I mean, these pictures you're showing here are nice, but yeah, that's not in the city, man.
Do it justice.
In the city, it's built over like it you don't see water in it.
Yeah, because you can't really see the dimensions. But if you look over here, you can imagine how far down that is and where the cars are up there. Yes, and the thing is, it's extremely. This is the Pinheiros River. This is the other side. So basically, like the Pinheiros River goes all the way up here, guys, and then it curves like all the way up there, kind of curves to the right, and then it becomes the Chiete River. But they're both called the Marginal River because it's a margin, So it's the Marginal Pinheiros and then the Marginal Chiete. Welcome to São Paulo, where street names change halfway through, rivers names change too halfway through. I learned that the hard way because I get lost down here. And then basically that's how it works with the streets too, Pete, because it's like you'll be on this really long avenue, like Francisco Morato. I used to live in a city called Tabuão, and to go to work, I used to take a big avenue called Francisco Morato. And then it would just stop being called Francisco Morato for like about 10 minutes. And it was called like Columbus or something. And it'd go back to be calling Francisco Morato. And then it would turn into Rebouças, which then turns into Consolação. So it's the same street, basically. It crosses through like about 10 different neighborhoods. So depending on the district, they'll change the name to match that district. So, that's a little bit of what's going on. And what Pete's saying about, look, this is a picture from way back in the day of the river. And we talked about this a little bit before on the show. But São Paulo is, let me see, Paulo is built over rivers. And there's a really great documentary about this that my friend Anna shared with me.
Yeah. And the sewage disposal,
there's not
too.
A good image here, but basically back in the 1920s. Yeah. Oh, there's a good picture. This is a map of the rivers in the city of São Paulo. So see how blue it is? It's just that you're not going to see most of that blue because the city was literally built on top of it. And that's why it floods a lot and filling up the drains. Mm-hmm. But it's also a lot. Oh, there's a great picture. That's the one I was looking for, because it shows how the river originally looked. There's a nice picture. Since we got good internet today, we can share. This is 1930s. Look at that. It was like a marshland. And then they took this curvy rivers, which rivers curve. That's what they do. And that's not a natural way that a river is supposed to look. So this whole region here, and it's a real shame because it's an expensive region of the city. So you're paying a lot of money and you'll get flooded out. I remember one year, Pete. Let me see if I can see.
You get to see a lot of capybaras around that area as well.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure. I would think I was working at this building or this. I can't remember now. But man, that thing was flooded. I mean, it's that far away from the river. And I remember there was a year when like the basement got flooded. It got flooded to like about the first floor almost. We had to take the steps up to the 11th floor. That was a fun year to go to work. So yeah, there's a lot of issues with that. But this Salesópolis looks like a place I'd like to visit. It's close to the beginning of the Tietê River. And we have another place called Arapé. And watch if there's any comments there, Pete, because I'm not looking at the studio screen. Arapé is a vale histórico e natureza, so it's a historical valley. There's a lot of hiking, and then check out that episode we did with the hiking. I think that was a really fun episode. A lot of preserved landscapes in the historic Paraíba Valley region, guys, which I am in love with. I love Valley of Paraíba. If anybody wants to visit a real nice city in that region, it's called São José dos Campos, which is a city that it's not worth it. I think about moving out of São Paulo. It's like I wouldn't move out of São Paulo to a place that's as expensive as São Paulo. But São José dos Campos almost makes me want to do that because look how beautiful the city is. I've been here about 2 or 3 times. It's, people are friendly, good food, really nice air. In this area is called the Valley of Paraíba. Is it again? Because it's kind of on the way to Rio de Janeiro. This is more or less like the halfway point, and there's the valley right there. So sometimes you're in the city and you go down, you can see all the valleys and stuff. It's really beautiful.
I've actually been there.
And a lot of people recommend this city because it is You might have, because there's a lot of companies there. I think. Embraer is there, which is the big airline company. I was there for about a week teaching at Embraer, and I think Mars. I spent a couple weekends there working at Mars, and then I went to a friend of the show, Leclerc, Emily. Her husband has a brewery, a microbrewery in the city called Tamboré, and Tamboré Cervejeria. It's Delirium. It's not Delirium. I always get his beer mixed up, the name of it. But anyway, there's a lot of stuff out there that you can do, but it's far. There's like nothing. It's really far out there. That's when you want to just get away from humanity, which sometimes is the best thing you can do. And then you have 10, Queluz. Oh, that's a nice name. What light? Okay, mountains and rivers, not rivers, but waterfalls. It's about a 3 to 4 hour drive. There's mountain scenery, waterfalls, access to trails near the Serra da Mantiqueira region, which is another area that's very famous. And whenever you see Serra, guys, Serra in Portuguese has 2 meanings. Look how pretty that is. Oh my God, that's gorgeous. Yeah, that's a place you want to go and chill. Serra just means mountains, guys. Serra can also mean a saw, So in São Chigueira is one of the most famous areas in São Paulo. Look at that. Ooh. I might want to go there and visit. Let me just go over here, Pete, because I'm curious. I didn't see this very folksy type towns. I like this. And that's the thing when Monte Verde. I've heard of Monte Verde. This is already outside of São Paulo. That's Minas Gerais. Yeah, because these regions, they really take up a lot of places. But I think here in São Paulo, oh, there you go. Santo Antônio do Pinhal. When they go on vacation, they're like, oh yeah, we went to this place. Man, they got a lot of ads on this page. Let me see what else we got here, Pete. But again, these places are for visiting. Campos Jordão, very famous places actually for vacationers. It's a kind of a Swedish looking village with a lot of expensive things to do.
Yeah.
I actually have a student who goes there every weekend. I think his parents have a hotel there. Not
His parents have a
a
buttload of
cheap.
money.
Is this little area here? Look, this little mini church. Or trip, then it's probably more than just a day trip. But you can definitely get out. And one thing that I always recommend, guys, if you're down here in Sao Paulo, is the blah blah car. And Pete, I think I got a way to get you to the beach one of these days because you can be like my companion. Because I forgot, I went with Eduardo a couple times this year. We went on a few trips using blah blah car, and I called it, and he was just like my plus one. So I may be able to call a blah blah car because I know you got issues with ID and get your ass to the beach. I might leave you there though. Um, but that should be cool. In those small towns, are people friendly or unfriendly and closed minded? Good question. And my experience has mostly been positive in these small towns. But people are like when I went to Iguape. I think we talked about that at the beginning of the year that I took a trip there in the city. I love it. It's a super tiny city, super colonial. And me and Eduardo, I mean, we're just us, or a gay couple, and people sometimes they would look, but it's never like in this kind of disrespectful way. It's more like, oh look, we have new people in town, and then they just go on about their
Hmm.
business, which I think is how most small towns are around the world. Of course, you have certain places that you're like, oh man, when the Confederate flags come out after dark, that you want to get away from. But my experience life is mostly positive. I mean, Brazilians, for the most part, unless you're not going into like a dangerous area that's a known dangerous area, they're easygoing, man. They just want to, either they'll leave you alone or they will just want to talk to you. Sometimes it's annoying because you just kind of want to have a
Yeah.
quiet vacation. You're like, oh my God, and where are you from? Oh, America, you speak English. Oh, I speak.
Yeah, I've lived in the same neighborhood for 6 years, man. And I will tell you, like, sometimes I walk down the streets and I hear like some dude yell "Gringo," and I
Yeah,
know they're talking to me, right?
yeah,
And
it's friendly.
it's annoying,
Yeah.
but I understand that it's not meant with malice. They're like, "Hey, buddy, like you're part of our neighborhood," so I just wave and say hello.
It's really weird. Yeah, Brazilians are not. Although it's weird, Pete. I say when you say this, it's not with malice, but I've had a few. I've had three instances here. I'm pretty sure there's one that was like last year of people being a little xenophobic, which was bizarre. Like it makes me laugh. I can't get mad at it because it's one thing if like an American says to you, like in New York City, "Speak English or get the f out of my country," or in London, like there's a
Right.
weight behind that even though you're like whatever, but then it's like Brazil. Like this dude was angry with me and my friend Dave because we were speaking English in the metro. It's like, we're in Brazil, speak Portuguese. And I'm like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, I had that happen in China, man. I was with
eu
an
consigo falar.
Australian friend at a bar, and we were just like shooting the shit, and this Chinese guy was like throwing shit at us, literally throwing
Oh
shit
my
at us.
god.
It's like, you're in China, you should speak Chinese.
Oh, it's
Like,
terrible when
what
people
the
are like,
fuck?
guys. That's not a cool thing that Americans do. Don't repeat it. Oh, or like this place. There's this place down here, guys. I will recommend it, but with an asterisk because I absolutely hate the place. And it's called Aparelho Luzia, I think. And it's a nice place in the sense that it's like this hangout for like black art, culture. Although it might have closed down. I'm not sure. Maybe it's open. Who knows? But I went there once with my friend Kira. Well, that was weird. I went there once with that was weird. I went there with my friend Kira. Man, she had just gotten off the plane like a week before. There was a party there, like this chick was hosting, and I'm talking to her. Like I'm not even talking to everybody else. I'm like literally talking to Kira, and then she comes to say hi. I'm like, hello, hello. And she told us, oh, you're in Brazil. Speak English, man. I wanted to tell her some shit, but honestly, I said a bad word, but I kept my mouth shut because my friend Jordan was there, and I think he knew her. And it was kind of like a whole thing, and he was gonna play. But I was ready to like tell that girl off, which is what I usually do on the metro to these people, but in a nice way because I can't really get upset over it. I'm like, man, I love Brazil, but what weight does Brazil have to throw around on the world stage? Who knows? Anyway, what's up, Travelmatic? I was just thinking about you, man. I'm not even kidding. Because we're getting close to the 100th episode, and I want to get people on that have been on the show, that have been supporting the show since pretty much the beginning. So drop in, man. One of these days, let me know when you're free, or if you're here on a Monday and you see we're just shooting the breeze like we're doing today, you are free to hop in anytime, man. We love you on the show. You've been to São Paulo, right? Let us know if you want to get in. Travelmatic is always a pleasure to have him on. So if you want to get in, I know you're usually at the gym getting big. But if, put down the weights for a second, and if you can say hi, we would love to have you on, man, because I'm getting excited with Pete for the 100th. So I never thought we'd make it this far, but we have. And, I was doing a lot of work this weekend, putting together that Festa Junina playlist for you guys that I was able to get out of my, take out of one Patreon page, gonna put on another. It's a lot of fun. So channel's growing. Oh, and by the way, thank you guys. We're at 2,400 subscribers, Pete. I don't know how we got the subscriber jump. We're getting these subscriber jumps. And people are really supporting the show. I know we took a long break, so maybe we're not getting 100, 200 views like we used to, but I see that every week it's more, and retaining people and getting them back. So it's a lot of fun. It's great to be here with you guys. He just left the gym. Anyway, look, I put the link in there, guys, in Life Is, if you want to jump in, because you've been a big fan of the show. If you want to actually say hi, we would love to have you on too, kind of a little bit open. It's fine. I got a couple videos here, Pete, that I want to show before we move on to São Paulo City. And one, since the internet is good, Pete, did I mute you or did you mute yourself? I owe this to our friend, Mr. Lee Andrade. Let's see if it works tonight. Please work tonight. Oh yeah, now we can come out. Fearless striker. See, the internet just doesn't work with me. I was having fun too. But yeah, guys, check out Lee Andrade. Okay, I'm going to remove that from the studio. But I'll put this here. I went to a Festa Junina this weekend, in fact. I'm going to show you this video. And it was to see my ex-boss, actually. She put us to work right away. You're going to see in the video. It's kind of fun. But it's at this school, which is really cute school. It's actually an NGO, okay? And she's been working there since, I guess, she left where I was. And she loves it. It's one of those situations where she's like, man, I'm making half of what I was making at my old job, but like I go home happy and I feel like I'm actually making a difference in people's lives. So can't pay for that. Here we go. And we're going to meet a friend here, Jason. Her name is Jason. Here's my friend Dave.
And you see the usual dress, plaid, very country festival, a lot of food.
There she is, playing bingo. When she sees us. Help me. Come on, we came to say hi.
go.
Yeah, put us to
You're
work.
putting us to work already? Well, you are ex-boss. Ex-boss.
Bingo's big. Look at these outfits, man. So cute. There you go. We got a winner.
These are the foods you
Here's
can
the
get
food.
here. She's getting a nice little stew, and I'm getting a quentão, which is this nice drink made with ginger tea and cachaça. And she's getting some right there.
Yes.
Oh, and it tastes so good, guys. My friend Dave just pointed this out. How sad is that? I just found out my quentão has no alcohol, but it's still really delicious.
It's really good. I got 2 of them.
Alright, so this is churrasco
Barbecue.
stand. And we got our churrasco stand. A whole lot of food. And a whole lot of country vibes. Country vibes. Oh, this is really nice.
Beautiful school, man.
I 100
Gorgeous
times
school.
prefer this school than ours. It's just schools like
You didn't hear me
Check
say that.
this
You
out.
didn't hear me say that.
part of the show. They're gonna take you. So this is a regular Brazilian public school, by the way. Oh, this is where they have games. There's always little games at Festa Junina.
Yeah, that kicking the can game
And then they
is
perform.
really hard,
They
man.
all gotta do like a little performance. It is just the name of the school. They all kind of are. And this is the neighborhood.
This is,
just a regular
average
old
São Paulo neighborhood.
And they all do the dance, guys. It's like square dancing for. Actually, in fact, I think the next clip you're gonna see that it's the commands. And we get a little bit of there we go. And the kids. I can hear a little bit of the music. That's more traditional for homie. And that's it.
All
I
right.
just put that together right before the show. But you get a little feel, guys, of, I mean, this is obviously a very small Festa Junina, but they get very big and they get very fun and very wild if you're not like at a school. Obviously, like my drink was non-alcoholic, but if you go to an actual one, that is at a church or at some other place. That's the thing. Festa Juninas, so just in case you're wondering, like, why are you at a school? A lot of them happen at schools because it's almost like, when we have the harvest festivals in the U.S., and I'm sure it's the same in Canada.
It's like
Who's
Thanksgiving.
the ones that get the most into it?
Basically Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and the ones that get most into it with the dressing up is like dress up the kids, so then they do the square dancing and then there's the games. Mm-hmm. So that's why it's
and there is so much
more
sweets associated with Festa Junina.
Like
exactly. when I was teaching on site, like when I was teaching during Festa Junina, like every student I had would give me sweets, and I'd be like, "What the fuck is this?" And like, "Oh, sorry, what the hell? What the heck? What the heck?"
I think hell you can say on TV if George Carlin is taught me.
Yeah, yeah, but I mean, like you get the strangest sweets, and most of them were terrible, actually, but some of them were good. So yeah, I learned.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, I'm not big on a lot.
I learned my Brazilian sweets through Festival Junina gifts because you will always get presents. You will always get presents.
Yes. Now these are popular ones. These are some popular foods, which in Portuguese they call it típica. Típica means typical, the typical foods, the traditional foods. So you got paçoca, which is this little square that's like, it's made of peanut, and it's kind of to paçoca something. I think it just means.
And you can buy it. You can buy it 365 days a year, but
exactly
during Festival Junina, it's a gift.
Yes, it's just I think the one in Festa Junina that might be a little bit more like straight from the farm, not the like the industrial one. But guys, if you're anywhere in São Paulo, like at the metro station, you always get these little kids selling paçocas to like make some extra money.
Yeah, they're good, and it's great for getting your blood sugar up too.
I'm not big on peanuts, but guys, there's a lot of foods with peanuts. If you have peanut allergy, stay away from the sweets at Festa Junina. I'm not a fan of peanuts at all. So just the taste, not allergic. So I just stay away from the sweets because I know there's going to be some peanuts snuck in there somewhere. Pamonha is made with corn. They like stew the corn until it turns into this kind of like, I don't know, whatever that is on the screen. But a lot of people love it. They kind of eat it in a bowl sometimes. Sometimes they put some sugar on top. Pé de moleque is also, pé de moleque is with, pé de moleque com amendoim também. Okay, Eduardo, I'm conferring here. Call a friend. Yeah, peanut. Canjica is rice, yeah? Arroz? Oh, it's also more corn. Okay, curau is definitely corn. This looks like baked corn. Not a lot of corn, guys. I mean, the corn cake. Pete, one thing I'll say, because look, guys, in the U.S., you have cornbread. Cornbread is delicious. Who doesn't love some cornbread? But corn cake is not the same, but it's a different beast, and it's delicious too. Like, I could live off of corn cake.
Yeah, but Brazilian corn is not like corn.
Yes, exactly. Just be aware of that. If you're going to eat corn on the cob, it's going to have a different taste. It's going to be closer to like feet.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, and then if you have Festa Junina doces, let's look at the doces. That's what Pete was looking for. Well, let's put it in English because they would. Well, no, actually, probably better in Portuguese. Doces, guys, is the name for sweets. And yeah, look at this. I mean, you're just gonna have a sugar high, man.
Yeah,
it's all there's the paçoquinha, but I mean, it's a party. What are you gonna do? And it's a lot of kids. So, all right, get them all. Yeah. Look at this. That's what a lot of them look like. They're like these hard candies. Not going to taste so sweet, but they have this thing here in Brazil that's called rapadura. Okay, rapadura. It's almost like molasses in terms of like it's this very concentrated sugar. The difference is that molasses is more liquid, whereas rapadura is literally like you can hit somebody with a block of rapadura and you knock them out.
Yeah.
It's look at this thing, man, and it's pure sugar, and it's used for cooking because you can melt this almost like a stick of butter and then mix. Man,
I couldn't eat half the candy that my students gave me, man. I was saying, I
yeah, look,
I couldn't eat them. Not even the fact that the sugar reaction is bad. But like even my teeth, like I have really bad teeth. So like just even biting into this shit is just like, oh my God, that's like rock sugar.
Yeah, guys, rapa is almost like, I think it's a shortened version of like to scrape. In dura literally means hard. So it's like the name of this object is called like a hard scrape because that's what you're doing. Like you're literally just scraping the sugar or whatever off, and then you can use it for a lot of food. But if you stay away from that stuff, like the regular food, guys, if you get like the caldos, look at this. Caldo Festa Junina. Then you're like in heaven. Then it's this is heavenly, guys. Oh my goodness! Actually,
yes. It's good, but really it's expensive, and you need to find the right place to get it.
But the most famous one is this one that I think we talked about last week, which was caldo verde. There it is right there on the left side. Pork, but then they have one that's like a bean soup, and then there's the one with mandioca, which is the yuca flour. Man,
yeah. Oh, that is so
guys,
good.
Brazilians love stews. There's actually a lot of these stew festivals. I remember, Pete, back in the day, you were talking about on site. Do you remember, Pete? Well, maybe this is before your time, but before there was the yellow line, guys, to get home, I used to have to take a bus. The yellow line is a metro line that they built here that goes from the center of the city kind of towards the west side. There was nothing. So I'd have to get off on Paulista, the main strip, get a bus there to go home. And on the way, because we worked all the way on the south side at this place called Volkswagen Bank, me and my friend Andrew. And as we're walking up Paulista, there would be like 3 or 4, sometimes even 5 little plaques that said Festival de Sopa. Man, when you see a sign that says Soup Festival, you know it's on. And in the winter, guys, it gets very cold in São Paulo. And these stews just do you up, Pete. Are you a stew guy?
I am. In fact, right now, I made like a Canadian soup recipe of peas, which used to be really expensive. But they're now like really cheap. You can get them for about $6 a bag. So peas, mortadella, onions, carrots, garlic. So good. So good. It's a perfect time of year for that. And it's better because
it's delicious.
It is the time of year for what you were talking about.
Look at this, guys. Well, go ahead, Pete.
Well, you're talking about the caldo, and yeah, it's out there, but the problem is it's so expensive now. Like I remember, like 5-6 years ago, it used to be a lot cheaper, but now it's like 16 reais for half a liter, which is too much, right? It's way cheaper to make your own soup.
And Eduardo here sitting next to me, you probably hear him having the sniffles a little bit. He makes some really good soups, man. Last week we were talking a little bit about soups, and he's like, let's make a soup this week. And I was like, what? I mean, let's means he's going to do it, and I'm there for it, man. I'm eating that up. It was delicious. But look at this. Pete talking about price. Look at how much it's gone up. I found this old page here. This is from 2019. Like I said, the Festival de Sopas. Guys, see a Jaspi. By the way, today, we're freestyling today, guys. We're going doing a little bit of everything. So I hope you're enjoying and freestyling with us. If you got any questions about Brazil, São Paulo, more specifically, because we're not super freestyling. We're trying to stick to São Paulo. And one of the topics is neighborhoods and places that people don't talk about. And this is one of them. Cia Jaspi, guys. Look at the size of this place. It is the main, like, depot, I guess you'd call it, for like greens and stuff like that, vegetables, groceries. And it's spread, and all this stuff is delivered here from across Brazil and then taken to all the different markets in São Paulo. It is huge. And you could actually go there and do your shopping too. I wouldn't recommend it because, like I said, it is huge. And so are the lines. But one thing that's worth going here for is when they have these festivals. I went to this one, which is the Festival of the Maris, which is seafood. And also they have the festival. Look, if I put festival there, you have japonês, caldos, camarão, so shrimp, sopa, gastronômico. I went to this one of pescado, which, look at this. Oh, I have a picture of this fish. Yeah, on my Instagram somewhere. Yeah, this fish right here. And I hope I'm sharing that with you guys. I hope so. Am I sharing? Yeah, I am. Okay. Yeah, it's delicious. So you can actually go here to when they have the Festival de Sopas in the winter time. But look at the price here, Pete. What I wanted to get to was this. This is from 2019, and it was 43 reais per person, which is kind of a little bit pricier, but compared to now, it is, Pete. Try to guess how much it is now. Same festival, which is starting. It's going on right now to the 30th of August. How much do you think it is to go to the Festival of Soups?
Yeah, just based on the prices of, because I live near Oba, which is the expensive grocery store, right? I live near two grocery stores. I have Violetta, which is the cheap one, and Oba, which is the expensive one. And Oba right now, their soups are going for about $60 for 500 mils. Yeah.
Yeah, so guess what? You would be in the ballpark because it's 69.90 per person. But Pete, there's a big but is that it's all you can eat soup, so it's worth it. Like pay $70.
Okay, that's
just
better.
Gonna be like in soup heaven. You're in soup heaven. It's Thursday to Sunday. In fact, we should go. Temos que ir no Festival de Sopas. Eu tô falando aqui, telling Eduardo that we should go to this Festival de Sopas. It's really nice, and we live kind of close. Yeah, and it's look at this, guys, straight off the internet here. It's in CEAGESP, it's 69 per person. Liberated. It's free, all you can eat. It's from Thursday to Sunday from 6 to 11:30. Well, none of us are children, but we have the traditional, oh man, their onion soup is like, what the hell? But then they have these 7 other types of soups all around.
I like the Galadina soups.
Of course, drinks are
the Galadina soups, and they're done really well. Ooh, that's primo shit, man.
Oh, guys, you have officially entered the soups section of the show. I always tell my student topics, it's like I can go on forever, so I'll try to edit myself here. But look at these. This is the menu for the soup. So you have, look at this, Pete. Sopa de pedra. Okay, it's called the rock soup. It's Toscana sausage with some beans and some greens. We have
that's a good one. I like that one,
which is Haitian.
I like that one a lot.
Meat. Abóbora is, I believe, pumpkin and some spaghetti, macarrão. Creme de palmito, so palm. I think it's a palm.
It's artichoke heart. Artichoke heart.
Palmito. Yeah, palmito. Yeah. Palmito is artichoke. Sopa de marisco. I don't know marisco what that is. Ervilha, I believe, is the green peas. Cebola, onion. Cebola gratinada is kind of grated. Ooh, grated. Oh my god! And then we have the surprise soup. Oh my god! Now this looks disgusting though. Chocolate soup with fruits. Not
doing that.
But then you have all of these little things which I'm not gonna go through. But these are all
but no, that's amazing, man. All you can eat. And especially if you get croutons, man, like they're like soup is good, but one thing I like about the Brazilian style of sampling soup is you gotta munch up that dried bread and put it in there and throw in the cheese and then it's a meal because it feels a bit empty if it's not like supplemented with something. But when you throw in the croutons, oh my god,
it's game on. So, although check this out, be careful, guys, because this is a very popular festival. So you may sometimes be wiser to make a reservation. Oh, there we go. It says here that it's gonna be realized here through first come first serve. We don't make individual reservations only if your group is over 30. Okay, that's a little better. Because I remember when we went to the fish festival, I think we made a reservation because there's like a bunch of us. But yeah, and guys, there you go on Instagram. You can follow CEAGESP because it's a hard name to follow. And don't ask me, it's an acronym for something, but I forgot. Something São Paulo. Yes. So you have all of that right there on their Instagram page, and you can see everything that they're doing. So that's one part of São Paulo that I think a lot of people don't know is that it's not just buildings. You have all these very green spaces where people like actually go there and try to escape the chaos.
Yeah.
Kind of like how P and I are kind of hidden out here in the burbs. But wait, let me get out of that page because I'm starting to get hypnotized by these soups, man.
My brother was here.
Soup. I don't even eat pork.
My brother was here about 7 years ago.
Yes.
And, he really didn't like the city. He was traveling all over Brazil. He liked everywhere in Brazil better than he liked Sao Paulo.
Yes.
And what I was
I
trying,
get it.
what I
I
was,
get it.
yeah, what I was trying to explain to him is like, yeah, it's not a tourist city, man. It's not a place where you go to the beaches. It's a place where you just live the life, right? And you're a tourist, so you're not
Exactly.
living the
Exactly.
life.
Exactly. Exactly. It doesn't mean you can't have tourist experiences, guys. And I definitely recommend you guys watch that video by Ace Live. In fact, I gotta get Ace on this channel, man. I gotta give him
Yeah,
a shout
I
out.
do
It's been
tourist
a while
shit
since
here
we've
once in a
spoken.
while.
Yeah, you do, and there's plenty of
I
touristy
went
stuff to do,
I
but
went
it's
to
not a touristy
the
city.
Banespa Tower, which has been
Yes,
around since the 1920s, and it's cheap and it's accessible, um, and it's a good time that doesn't cost you too much bucks. Um, I think the problem that a lot of people who come to Sao Paulo as tourists is, well, first of all, they come here because it's a gateway to going to more interesting cities from their point of view, but
exactly.
they don't appreciate the lifestyle, right? Like you can see music festivals, films, food festivals, all these things going on that are just under the radar.
You're cutting out a little bit. I think it cut out. I was trying to share something, but I guess sharing's out because Pete's cutting out. Hello, people
I'm
out
here.
there.
I'm
I was trying
here.
to find the video, guys. Ace Live. But yeah, now I can hear you. It's just I was sharing the screen. It wasn't working. But guys, Pete, I totally get this. It's like São Paulo is a city that you can do touristy things, but it's not necessarily a touristy city. And that doesn't mean that when you can't find a lot of hidden gems, a lot of cute little neighborhoods that you can take a nice walk, but it's a different vibe, right? I mean, really, São Paulo is a place to go party at night and just stay out till 5 in the morning and stuff like this. Look at this, guys. Check this out. After this commercial break here. All right, AI music is taking over. All right, here we go. Check this out. São Paulo Unlocked. Ace Live. Oh, look who that is. And yeah, I took him around the city. you know, this is Liberdade area. And he did 2 episodes. There's one that was in the daytime, as you can see here, and then one that we did in the evening. So it's nice because you're going to see both sides of the city in this whole video. Heart, man, really, really, really nice guy. And that'll be a cool video for you too. One of these neighborhoods, actually one or two I've never been to. One I was kind of curious why they picked it as one of the best neighborhoods because it looks kind of junky. But yeah, they're saying here, this is from another page that I follow on Instagram that I think is pretty cool. It's called São Paulo City. Although they used to be, well, I shouldn't say this. it's a cool page. Okay, sometimes a little too AI-ish for my taste, but okay. Quando o assunto são bairros, yeah, when we're talking about neighborhoods in São Paulo, one is Freguesia do Ó. Have you ever been here, Pete? Because I'm really curious to go to this place at some time. And by the way, I keep saying cities. These are neighborhoods. If I say city by mistake, because guys, some of these neighborhoods feel like cities. It feels like you're in a totally different place. But Freguesia do Ó is a neighborhood in the west side of São Paulo. Have you ever been there, Pete?
I don't think so. I might have. One of those nights I fell asleep on the bus. I might have I might have wound up there, but I didn't catch the name.
Yeah, it's a place I kinda. I'm gonna risk it again to share the screen because it's a place I kind of want to visit because you don't hear a lot about it, even though it's like in São Paulo and there's actually a metro that goes there, but it's so out of the way that whenever I think about going to Freguesia do Ó, man, it's just out there, right? Because it's kind of like
I'm
west
thinking
north.
Of Jardim
No, it's
Jau
north
23.
actually. Okay, you're thinking so many weird places here. Jardim Jau 23. Oh, João 23. That's a far off place, but you don't want to go there, people. You do not want to go to Jardim.
Well, the bizarre thing about Jardim Jau 23 is that it's an all black neighborhood.
It's not a cool place.
And I am a white person, and I got stuck there.
And that's not why it's not cool, by the way.
No, it's not. It's not. In fact, I got stuck there because I fell asleep on the bus, and that was the last stop. And there was this girl going around from the church handing out clothes to the homeless, and she saw me, the white guy, there, and she's like, "Oh,
yeah,
here's some clothes." And I was insulted at first, and then I looked at them and was like, "Damn, I could use these."
Oh my God.
Thank you, girl. Thank you.
There you go. But yeah, it's basically a quebrada, guys. Like, unless you have family there or friends there or whatever, like, there's no reason for you to be there. And people are going to look at you kind of strange. But Freguesia do Ó is just a neighborhood, and it's famous for a few things. It's got a few people say there's a cachaçaria there that's really, really famous. And that church in the middle is very nice to see. And it just got, like, nice little bars. And the cachaçaria, guys, is a place where you can drink cachaça. And you have a lot of them in Brazil. Cachaçaria. Look at this. I gotta show you this, Pete, because you would dig this. You don't drink too much cachaça, right?
Not a lot, but just because it's a bit of a lottery.
Let me get him on. There we go. Widow. We gotta get Travelmatic on. Let's pause everything because this is a man. There you go. What's up? You're on. You're a cachaça drinker.
Pete and Phil, I came in the right time. Talking about cachaça.
You betcha.
Yeah, are you a cachaça guy?
Oh, yes. Big cachaça guy. The 51 and the LeBron.
Yeah, because look at this. This is a place in Freguesia do Ó that a lot of students, they always because I keep getting cut out a little bit. So what's going on with you? Where are you in the world?
Oh man, I'm just in the Caribbean right now, man.
Where are you in
Puerto Rico right now? Puerto Rico. Yeah.
Nice. And let me ask you, you've been to São Paulo before, haven't you?
Yes, I've been twice.
Or am I mistaken? All right, so give us your impressions and maybe places that you went that you thought, okay, this is kind of a cool vibe. The times that you were here.
Oh man, I mean, I haven't been like big time there. Just kind of like stop throughs and like a day or a night, 2 days. It's so big to explore. It's just so tough to kind of know where to go. You need a guide, you know.
This is true.
I disagree. Actually, I
Really?
think
Well,
actually no. If you're in the general police area, there are a lot of places to see, like Trianon Park, for example. Trianon Park
Okay,
is
that
like
makes
a
sense if you're
day.
down that one strip. But if you're getting off that strip, good
well, I
luck.
mean, it
Yeah,
depends
but there
on
are so many places around that strip.
Well, this is
it.
true.
I mean, it's like it depends on the criteria, you know. If you're a clubber, if you're a
Is it
museum
true?
seeker,
Is this
you
Ah,
know, and
true?
but no. Okay, so if you're a clubber, you have Hua Augusta, which is like insane for clubs. And
Mm-hmm.
if you're a museum seeker, you got Maspi, which I've never seen. I've lived here 11 years. I've never been to Maspi, but it's there. So like all of these places are in very close proximity.
right, Pete. I'm just saying you have to do your homework.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like Atlanta where everything is kind of just right. Well, I'm living in Atlanta for quite a long time, so everything you want to do is in
It,
Atlanta.
it hits you like the first time. No, I feel you. It's
Yes.
like São Paulo's like this too, but it's like it takes a second. Unless you're like, because we're like Pete and I, we're like kind of crazy. We're just kind of like we'll walk around and we'll find stuff. That's why we do the podcast because we're the crazy ones. We're the crazy ones that do the hard work for you guys, so that it's easier for when you come down here. But I can totally get it. Wait, we got the
Right, and
motorcycles.
then you
Uh,
just you
but
just
I
don't want to
totally get
go
it.
around. You just don't want to go around Sao Paulo just wandering. You know.
Exactly. That's what I was gonna say. Like, if it's your first time here, it's like a big city, man, and it's not like Paulista is busy, and there's traffic, and there's people, and there's guys selling stuff, and there's these fake nurses on the street, and you're like, what's going on? So it can be a little tricky to know which street was who Augusta again that Pete was talking about. That had all the clubs,
Right.
and in the daytime, all the clubs are closed. So at night, are you like, is it this? I mean, you can get an Uber, but then you're kind of missing the whole experience of being out. So I don't know. I get it. I think Sao Paulo is a
And I
city that if you're brave to just go out, you can find stuff, but it may take a guide on your first time. But go ahead, Travelmatic. Sorry.
right, and no, but I was saying Augusto is just kind of sketchy at night. You know, it's not like
This is
lit
true.
up.
This is true.
It got some dark spots. It got some sketchy spots. It got like what the hell
Oh
is
yeah.
going on over there spots.
I know, guys.
I'm gonna just keep.
Look, I
I'm
always
just
say
keep
this to
moving.
the listeners. I tell you, I say this to the listeners all the time. I say, if you're walking down Augusta, just pay attention on your right side. You're going to get to this intersection that's going to have a gas station. Like, you can't miss it. It's like right on the corner.
Yeah,
After
yeah.
you cross that gas station, I'm pretty sure there's a drugstore right across, which is Peixoto Gomide, which is a really fun street, by the way. After that, it's a free-for-all. It's just like, it's a free-for-all.
That's the gay
you can
part
have
of
fun
town.
down there, but... What's the red light district really? Because the whole area is good. Well, São Paulo is good. But if after you cross that, oh, you're talking about Peixoto to Gomide. Yeah, that's a gay street.
Yeah.
But then after
Yeah.
you cross it, then yeah, it's like it's whatever. So what Travelmatic says is totally true. You got to be a little bit careful at night. Although now, I was out there a couple of weeks ago, Travelmatic, with Eduardo, and I don't know. It's really gentrified now. It's a little boring.
It is.
Safe
It is.
Yeah. It's to the point where it's like, like you get the crackheads walking up and down, just annoying you. And actually, for me, it becomes even more dangerous in a way because now it's like if it's rich people or people with a little bit more money going to these spots, then it's the little kids on the bikes start coming out. But the place itself, to snatch your phone. But the place itself feels super safe now to the point where I was like, oh, like, why did I leave the house? Like, it's kind of bland. And before, at least, I don't know, Travelmatic, when's the last time you've been to Philly? Or have you been to Philly?
I've been to Philly.
Okay, because it reminds me of like, do you remember like South Street pre like Starbucks and after the gentrification? Like before, there was an edge to it where it was like it was fun to walk down South Street, and then after that, it's still like a cool street. It's like go to South Street, guys, in Philly. It's nice, but it's not the same. You feel a little bit safer, I guess, but it's boring at the same time.
But I could see the correlation though once you bring up Philly. I've only been to Philly once, and that was actually the year they went to the Super Bowl, or last year before last.
Woohoo!
Yeah, yes, so
we don't talk about.
Yeah, so it was some parts of Philly, downtown Philly, give you that Sao Paulo feel a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Which I think is why I connect. Like people always say New York, but as somebody that's been to New York and lived in Philly, I'm like, no, Sao Paulo is more Philly.
Yeah, it does. It does feel like Philly. It's funny you just bring that up. I never thought of that until you said Philly.
People get disappointed when they get down here. They're like, it's not like the energy of Manhattan. It's like it's never gonna be, guys. It's just overgrown. But in the same, and what I mean, just to let you know what I mean when I say it's more like Philly, because Philly is a city that's built like on neighborhoods. It's a big city, but it has, I don't want to call it a small town feel, but it's a neighborhoody feel, and different than New York, which is like smacks you in the face and there's stuff going on. You got to go. Like Philly, you can actually walk slow if you want, and it'll be like nobody's going to look at you strange, depending on where you are. And São Paulo's like that. It's a city that stuff is happening, but it's built on these neighborhoods, and these neighborhoods are almost like cities because they're so historical, and they got generations of families in there, and it doesn't give that New York, but it never did. I've been, from day one, New York, because it's kind of laid back in a way. Go ahead, sorry.
But the feel is the aesthetics.
That too, like, with the murals. The murals was the first thing that hit me. I'm like, murals again.
Well, they have, because Philly has that Gothic feel with the older churches and buildings and stuff. Yes. And like when it snows, you can kind of see like it's like an ashy gray, like all the buildings look ashy, like they've been covered with snow. You know that snow gets on
like Gotham City, man.
Like a Gotham City.
Yeah.
And Sao Paulo has that same Gothic ashy look on the buildings.
Exactly.
And with the and with the bums and all that stuff around, just like
why? But that's the gentrification happening though, because like what you see with the bums downtown, that's like people getting pushed out of their neighborhoods, right? Like what we see in the city center now is not what we used to have.
Okay.
Exactly. Exactly. No, it's a weird peak because we've spoken about this a couple times on the show. Now sometimes, we got a lot of wind there. There you go. That's a little better. It is how sometimes I feel a little bit more anxious leaving my house here in the neighborhood now than when I'm downtown São Paulo, because there's so much more. It's just been gentrified. And look, this is downtown. It's beautiful though, guys. And what Travelmatic was saying is true about the Gothic look, because just like Philadelphia, São Paulo is a very old city, and Philadelphia still retains a little bit of that European feel. And that was weird for me, Travelmatic, first time I went to Europe, and I went to Paris, and I was like, oh shit, this is like Philadelphia. But really, Philadelphia is like Paris, because it's all like just an extension of. So when you get to São Paulo, you're gonna get that more Baroque European feel in a lot of the architecture, even the more modern style. So yeah, again, I don't get it. People always say, oh, it's gonna be like New York, and then they get disappointed when they get down here, and it's like, yeah, it's really not New York at all. And I love New York, guys, but it's a totally different, if anything, which is weird to say, so much, but I think Rio's got more of a New York feel. Yeah. This is true, and this is true. It's changed a lot. It was a wilder city. It still is a wild city. Maybe I'm just getting older, but it seems more people are just home on their phones than out on the street just doing crazy stuff. But yeah, Freguesia do Ó is this place I want to go to just drink some cachaças here, guys. We're gonna try to close it out real quick because it is getting late. And thank you, Travamatic, for hopping on. Wait, did he get knocked out? I think he might have got.
No, I'm here.
No,
I'm
you're
here.
there. Okay, cool.
Andre is still
Okay.
here.
So yeah, let's just. Here we go. Look at this. Santo Amaro. I'm just going to run through a few of these real quick. Now, guys, I've been to Santo Amaro a million times. I highly recommend it. It's a cool neighborhood. There's a place there called
That's the place where the freaks come out at night, man.
Yes, but it's great.
Right? You saw After Hours, guys. Right? Phil, you saw After Hours.
Yes, I did. Yes.
Okay, so my Brazil, my Sao Paulo After Hours experience was in Santo Amaro. Like, I took the wrong bus.
No, it's basically that.
I got off in Santo Amaro.
During the day, it's actually a very good place. Oh, what's that? Go ahead, Pete, because I got some delay on you.
All right. I took the wrong bus. I was at a UFC show. I took a bus going the wrong way. I got off in Santo Amaro, and I was like, holy shit, boy. I'm in the wrong neighborhood. But the neighborhood was like totally hopping at like 5 a.m. I was like going in and out of butecos, meeting people who didn't speak English but were friendly, and it's this crazy neighborhood that, I mean, it's not unlike my neighborhood. Like right now, my neighborhood, underneath my apartment, there is a soccer party going on, on a Monday evening. But Santo Amaro, it seems like it's like that all the time.
Yes. And I just put up an image. That will actually ended up better to try to share. The historic center, guys, and this is something that is worth going to Santa Amaro for. Shopping during during the weekend. On Saturday and Sunday, all these shops are open, and there's a lot of people there from the Northeast, Nordeste. In fact, they even have sometimes like people playing forró music on the street, like right where you see this little walkway here. And you feel like you left São Paulo for a second. Like you feel you really went to like Recife or somewhere in the Northeast. And you can get a lot of good spices there, like really good. And it's similar to 25 de Março, which is the big street in São Paulo where you can do all the shopping for free. Just the thing with 25, one I think is a little bit dangerous. A lot of pickpocketing, a lot of stuff going on there. Actually, some tourists got shot right on that street there, like a year ago or 2 years ago, with this guy tried to snatch his phone and he didn't give it up and he shot him. But here it's more spread out. That's why I like it more. It's like a little neighborhood. It's like these 3, 4, 5 blocks of like shops and people selling food on the street. And guys, it's worth going. Like at night, like Pete said, the freaks come out at night, try to leave before sundown. Santo Amaro gets wild. Oh, this part of Santo Amaro, because Santo Amaro is a huge neighborhood. I think it's got close to 1 million people. At one point, it even tried to like secede from São Paulo State city because it's so big. But this region is really cool if you ever come to São Paulo. And then we got Peña. Peña is another really cool neighborhood that I haven't explored that much. But whenever you're on the train, Pete, you've probably seen this yellow church. So it's just a nice neighborhood with like some greenery. I mean, it's the east side, And then we got Butantã made it on the list. And I agree. We live in Butantã. It's a very green neighborhood. It's a quiet neighborhood. It's a huge neighborhood. So there's parts of it, like where Pete and I live. Like I can't walk to Pete's house. I mean, I can, but it takes me about an hour and a half. It's a really big neighborhood. It's got USP, which is the University of São Paulo. If anybody out there's a jogger or a runner, wonderful place to run. I run through University City there. Sometimes you get lost in there. It's gorgeous. You have the Butantan Institute, which is a really beautiful place where you have all the vaccines. Actually, I think they made some of the COVID vaccines there, right, Pete?
They did, and
Yeah.
they have a
And
monkey house, and they have a
yes, for
reptile
yellow fever,
zoo. It's
and one of
really
the
nice.
top places for research on antivenom, for spider and
Hmm.
snake bites. And you can see snakes there. It's really cool. And then it's just the rest is just neighborhoods and little like quiet spots and like
Yeah, like where I live directly over three bars. Okay,
yes,
and they all have different vibes. One is open till 6 in the morning, 7 days a week. One
yeah,
is more or less a lunch restaurant, but on the weekends it turns into a bar. And then another is the place where I usually buy my smokes, and they're the type of bar that has the same crowd every day drinkers. You go in there at like 10 in the morning, and it's always the same people drinking
yep,
in the day. And, that's okay. But it's like Bob McGrath says, these are the people in your neighborhood. And it gives you a sense of community. The guy who runs the day drinking bar, his name is Arturo. I learned that after years
yeah,
of living here. So
yep.
yeah, that's Arturo. He's my smoke
And
guy.
they recognize you. And as you,
Exactly.
the book is coming. The book is coming, and one of the tips that I give in the book is really get to know your neighborhood and get to know these people in your neighborhood because they're your real tour guides. It's the guy on the
Hmm.
corner selling vegetables, like at the bus stop. It's the guy selling the barbecue at the bus stop. It's the
Hmm.
lady, like I got this lady at the corner of my street who's been there since I moved in this house. She's got this little shack, literally like a little box that she's in, and she sells, you know, cachaça to the old guys who are retired. I don't know where they get their money, but they're there. Man, she's part of this neighborhood. Like if she ever goes and dies or whatever, like she'll be missed. Like everybody knows there, and she's the one that you talk to who's gonna tell you, like, oh yeah, that guy is a little sketchy, or don't go down that street. So they're the people you really want to meet, and they're really
Yeah,
nice people.
exactly. Like
Yeah.
what one of the people who receives my money for me because I don't have a bank account is the lady who runs the clothing store under my
Hmm.
apartment.
Yeah.
And yeah, she's like so careful about it, right? Like when some sketchy dude walks into her store, she's like all secret, like James Bond about handing me the money off. She's like,
Mm.
I don't want this guy to see this money, so like, I'm slipping it to you like super secret agent type.
Yeah, that's nice. It's cute. So you get to know, life is asked in the beginning of the show for the small towns, are people kind of standoffish or they treat you mean? Like I said, I've never had a really bad experience because Brazilians in general, they're welcoming. Even if you go to the South, guys, a lot of people are afraid, especially black folks, they're afraid to go to the South because, all this. But I think some of
Hey,
the nicest people I've met in like Brazil have been from the South. They're just like they're welcoming in a different way. They're a little bit. It's colder down there, so they're a little bit more closed. But they're super like Brazilians are just naturally friendly people. Like they can't help themselves for the most part. There's a couple
hey,
of people.
hey, did I miss the
Go ahead.
conversation of the Sao Paulo beach? I've always wanted to know about the Sao Paulo
Oh, the
beaches.
Guarapiranga. Yeah, we talked about Guarapiranga, which is the
Hmm.
12 beach, which is a place that you go to, get some. I'll get some pictures up here. My internet works a little bit. Yeah, I've been there a couple times, guys, and it's a really nice place to visit. It's about like if you're talking like center downtown, it's gonna take about an hour and a half. It's not close. It's in this neighborhood called Guarapiranga. It's actually a dam, Travelmatic. It's a
Yeah.
represa, they call it here, and there's a boardwalk. It's just a place to go out and vibe. They got music at night. They got a bunch of restaurants. You can go on the water. You can go on boat rides. Like actual Brazilians and not the people that are just gonna be on
Does
vacation. police.
Does a train or a
which
bus
are nice
go out
too.
there?
I'm not hating on those type of people. They make
It's a
up the
bus.
city too.
It's a
But I
bus.
like to be close to like the actual, like, you know, people that just do their thing down here. Look at this place, guys. Have you ever been to this place? I've never heard of this place in my life. It's called Pari. And I don't get why they put it on the list. It looks so, I don't know, just not a place I'd want to go. I look at this, Pete. This is Pari. It's close to Brás. Brás is an interesting neighborhood, but I guess it's like a historic place. I don't know. I don't know why it's on the list. Maybe one day I'll visit and see what the charm is. I did find out about a neighborhood that's kind of like stuck in time here that I want to area. So I'll see about that. I don't know, but I don't know about Pari. But let's see. I think we got a couple more, just a couple more here, and then we'll be done. Oh no, yeah, it's like they're more curious than you know. You know, there's a lot of places in there. Like, what's your favorite place here, Pete, that you think is kind of nobody talks about, but it's kind of cool to go to?
I don't know, man. I like my neighborhood. I like my neighborhood just fine. You know, it's like Cheers. You know, it's like everybody
Pete's been
knows
everywhere,
your name.
so it's tough.
There's nothing to see here. Although one thing we really do have going for us here is Praça Ela Segina. Ela Segina, very famous Brazilian singer.
Yeah.
She was apparently murdered by the military dictatorship. Nobody really knows what happened to her. She kind of disappeared, but the popular theory is that
no, you're confusing the story. No, you got people mixed up. Elisa Gina died Liza Minnelli style. Oh, not Liza Minnelli. What's her name? Judy Garland style. Like a lot of drugs, dude. I think you got the story mixed up with Elise. But she is considered Brazil's premier singer. She's got a hell of a voice. But not.
But a lot of people think she was murdered by the military dictatorship.
I mean, yeah, but that's like Marilyn Monroe theories. I mean, you know,
all right.
But she didn't like go missing or anything. Like the story was like, okay, she took too many pills and she was always on drugs, so it's believable.
Right. Yeah, but I mean, we got this really nice public square here, and one of my best friends actually lives in the neighborhood, so like anytime like we can't afford to go out or anything, like we just get some beers from a grocery store and hang out in the square. You know, I got the 3 bars under my house that are always reliable. Got a nice grocery store, so I mean it's a cool neighborhood. Like I don't feel threatened here. Like if you go about Sao Paulo, it's very easy to feel threatened, but here I know everybody by name, and it's just a comfortable, safe space that feels good.
Travamatic, you were asking about Guarapiranga here. Can you see it?
Yeah.
So this is from a few years back. Okay, you're gonna see a little bit of Jose here. Pete's met Jose. Jose is big now. That's my child. But let me see if I can. 1 second, guys. Yeah. So it's a park too. So you can see that there's a park part of it. But we're gonna get to the water part. You know, so it's nice. It's and there's the water. Like some parts of it you can't get in. You know, like obviously like that part, it's kind of swampish, but here, there's the people. Okay, they're all getting wet, and like you say, it's like popular. You know, in Portuguese when they say it's popular, it's povão. It's just the regular folks. You know, so it's not the people that are gonna be in the indoor beach in Faria Lima. You know, so it's okay. You get in the water sometimes. Depending on the season, it can get a little swampy, but man, you get in there and you have fun. And there's these little boats right here that'll take you where you go. There's my little guy, and there's his friend Seba, and they went there on the boat ride. We all went to an island, and there's our. And you're in Brazil, you're just like, okay, whatever, just accept it for what it is. But this is our boat driver, you know, with a beer in no hands. But okay, whatever. Oh man!
Anyway, how far is that from Paulista?
2 hours from Paulista. There you go. Right there.
Okay.
I think I got a video here of the guy. Oh, there's the island that we ended up on right there. So yeah, a bunch of people on their boats. And there you go. Oh, yeah. I wish I could turn back time, man. All these. Look at this. These are good times. There you go. Wait up, we got a couple more here because I think there's a video of the guy. It's so nice when we all came back. Oh, they're all drinking, man. All right, there you go. On the front of the boat, but I think I got one. Oh, wait up. Give me a second, people. Now they did like a whole samba on the boat. I think it is the last one. Oh, there you go. Maybe I was drinking a little bit. Oh, there you go. I got the camera right. There you go. So yes, that's the São Paulo vibe, guys, that I like. Okay, so you can get down there to Guarapiranga and just have the time of your life and just enjoy. And you see, like I didn't know any of those people, man. We were just having fun, and that's Brazil. I mean, you're just gonna if you're open. I think Pete. I think that's the main thing. If you are open, São Paulo will deliver. Okay, but you got to really really explore. Okay, and then you're gonna see
Yeah,
São Paulo is an
well, it
awesome city. It's
depends.
really
It
great.
depends
Anyway, guys,
because
I think we're ready to
I'm
close
definitely
out.
gonna explore more next time.
Yeah, just call me up when you're done. I will take you
No, I
around.
said next time I'm
We're gonna have a
definitely
lot of
gonna
fun.
explore next time.
yeah,
No,
yeah, it depends because I mean, like, if you're too open, you can be taken advantage of. Like, I remember
oh, well,
one of
yes.
my first experiences in Sao Paulo was when I was living in Jundiaí, and my Portuguese teacher told me, like, you really need to like have Portuguese conversations, right? And this guy came up to me and started a conversation. And I was like, okay, this is what my Portuguese teacher told me I need to be doing. I need to be having conversations with this dude. But he was being really sketchy. He's like, I know a place I can take you to meet some
Oh, yeah.
girls. We
No,
can
don't
get
do
some
that.
drugs.
Don't do
And I was
that.
like, ah, man, this guy's bad news, right? So
Yeah.
I left him and he followed me and he tried to mug me. But the problem was he
Mm,
was a lot smaller than me, so I beat the shit out of him. But
there you
that's
go.
not
You
the
beat the
point.
smack out of them.
That's not the point. The point
What is it?
is like, don't just because a local is nice to you, don't take that to mean that they are your friends because they might not.
Exactly, guys. You have to be super careful with that. Exactly. Or just play dumb. I think I did that when I was in Salvador Peak because I was by myself and I went in this favela a couple times and I just made friends there. And I could see that a few of them were like just kind of eyeing me to see like what my vibe was. And I just kind of played dumb and just like, I'm just here. I'm just enjoying myself and this and that and the third. And I did. I left that favela friend to a very cool trans woman who actually kind of saved us, Pete, the second time we went there because I left a little bit later than I should have, like without a guide. And as I'm walking through the favela, who do I see? Her. And she's like, "What are you doing walking through here this time at night?" I was like, "Sorry." Uh, and we had just passed this little place because I got kind of lost on the way back. Like there was these, obviously they were dealing something. Let's just say they were dealing candy, and I was like, "Oh my god, what's gonna happen?" But then I was just like, "Yay, boa, boa," and I was like, "They let us pass." It was nice. It was nice. So I think in most places, if you're not dumb, like I am sometimes, and just walk right into danger. But if you just chill and just enjoying the city, Brazilians are nice. But that doesn't mean that you have to accept all of their niceties. I think that's the main
Yeah,
thing.
and sometimes they may rob you and be nice at the same time.
Exactly.
Right. It's like, I'm going to take some of your money, but this is just like asshole tax, basically. But we're going to take care of you still.
Yeah, it's crazy. Travel-matic. Look, have you ever been mugged before in your life?
No, thank God. Almost in other places. But I was going to say that, what I've seen in my travels is the places where you
get really close to that mic because you got a lot of wind. Get really close to that mic because there's a lot of wind. We can't hear you very well.
The places where you befriend people really quickly, those are the places that you need to be more cautious.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Versus the places where you don't. Yeah, that's a little safer. Don't be so quick to be friends with new locals and stuff. That's what
Exactly. And I learned a lesson the hard way, but then now I kind of got the vibe, and I think that playing dumb works, where they think they're getting one over, but you're kind of like, okay.
I did get this. I was in the North Zone. And like this group of Brazilians, mixed gender, male and female, they befriended me, and like I could almost see the predator teeth come out of it. Like they were my friends, but they were like, no, we can take this guy because obviously he's a sucker. And the first bus that passed by me, I got on it, and I could tell they were so angry when I got on the bus because they're like, we almost had him. I know. I was like, no, fuck you, man. You guys are giving me bad vibes. I'm on this bus. I don't care where it's going. Anywhere but from you guys.
Yeah, and I've done that before. I've just gotten on the bus because you're just like, and you play them because the tough part about Brazil Travel-matic with this is that Brazilians are friendly, and if you're not at least polite back, it can be taken as a big offense. Like even with like people asking for money, like I give this advice all the time. Don't say nothing. At least say like "não tenho," because otherwise they'll pester you. Because it's seen as this big offense if you don't at least acknowledge somebody that's being nice or like asking for something. So okay, não tenho. Okay, boom, the guy leaves you alone. And so when you're in a situation like this, you don't want to accuse somebody of something. You don't want to give off vibes that like, man, you're trying to get one over, because then that starts a whole other conflict. So I've learned to just be like, you give people, like here in Portuguese, they say give corda, you give them a little rope and they kind of hang themselves, and you're like, okay, I see where you're at. And then like, oh guys, I gotta go. And you're like, oh, ja, already? Like, yeah, sorry, boom, you're out. So you just got to be careful with that in countries like this that are very, very friendly. But what I wanted to say, though, about the politeness, the very first time I got mugged in my life was here in São Paulo, downtown. And I gave the guy like 20 reais. I had my phone down my underwear as per advice. And so they didn't take it, but they did take the $20, and then they said thank you, and I said you're welcome, and I was really mad at myself afterwards. But they were so nice about it. It's like okay, whatever, it happens. But not all of them are nice guys. We're being kind of like positive tonight, but you can get into real trouble down here in Brazil if you don't watch yourself. But guys, I think that's it for this evening. I want to thank Andre Travel-matic. Check out his channel for coming on. Are you posting anything new in Puerto Rico?
No, I'm posting stuff from my Lisbon trip, man. We got to do a Portugal versus Brazil, man.
Ooh, all right. I can have one for that. All right, this is good. Because I want to take.
I think that would be
yeah, because we just had one that got a lot of views was our São Paulo versus Rio, but that but I would love like. Differences, things that are similar, how much of the Portuguese culture you see in Brazil and vice versa. So that would be a really nice conversation. How long were you there?
I was there for a week. 1 week.
All right, cool.
And I saw some. Travel-matic.
No, it's just the.
But yeah, I saw a lot of similarities though.
Of course,
definitely saw a lot of similarities
from there. You know what my theory is? I'm gonna have to look this up because it's like the last couple of weeks the internet's been kind of off, and I've been talking up Vivo, but I think it's got to do with the World Cup because there's this very popular channel here called CAZE TV, and I recommend anybody that watches soccer to watch it on this channel because these guys are so dramatic and they're so great. In fact, I was watching the game here. And then Eduardo's like, "Oh no, put it in English." I was like, "Are you serious?" I put it in English. Like 5 minutes later, not even like 30 seconds later, he's like, "Yeah, boring," because they don't say anything in the English version. They're just like, "To Ronald, pass down the straight. Look, he's got the ball. To Johnson." Like that's the broadcast. Here they're like, and he took the ball straight for his foot and he ran down the field with it. And look, and he's going to the right. And look, the guy and you're like, you're in the game. Like just the narration is like, I'm not doing it, sir, justice the way I did it, but it is so exciting. So I think everybody's just watching this channel and it's screwing up my internet. Apple has been good, but you can see here Travel-matic. So 4 hours ago, walking through that. Okay, I'm gonna watch these because I was checking out your channel a couple weeks ago. I was going through some of the videos. It was really nice. So I'll check these out and we can have a conversation about that. That'll be fun.
Yes. So check me out. I am dropping a lot of good stuff. Try to do something weekly. So
and
I appreciate y'all having me on.
Coming back to São Paulo.
Oh man, I don't know. I want to do it for November. So November, I'm trying to do the Black History Month.
Yeah, November.
I've been wanting to do that.
The Consciência Negra, Black Conscious Day. This is nice. All right, if you're down here right around there, that'll be perfect, man, because I'll be off work. That's a big holiday. I think it's like a 3-day holiday, too.
Yeah, one of my students, actually, we had the day off school, and this is when I was teaching at a private school. And, like, I tried to ask her, like, what is the deal here? Like, what's the holiday? And she and her classmate, a white girl actually, they discussed it and they decided, they came up with the perfect answer. And the black girl came up with me with, "It's for the slaves." And I said, "So it's Slave Day?" And they died laughing, man. They thought that was so funny. But yeah, I seriously had no idea about Black Awareness Day at that time, but Slave Day to them, they thought that was the most hilarious thing.
Oh boy. Anyway, and with that, for Slave Day. Although I mean, we laugh. But Travel-matic, I've said this story before on the show, but about 10 years ago, I think it was, on the Intercept, Greenwald's old rag, he did a really nice story about this place that they had here. I think it was in Rio de Janeiro, where they were doing this reenactment like they do in the US. They have Civil War reenactment, Renaissance festivals. And this was supposed to be from the slave time, like colonial reenactment. And they hired Black people to be the slaves. So the fact that this girl said it like it was the day of the slave, and then Pete just repeated it, it's actually it's funny, but it's scary at the same time, because sometimes Brazilians' mentality on that stuff is warped.
But also I think in Sao Paulo, maybe 8 years ago or so, a lady had a slave in her house.
Yeah,
was that in Sao Paulo?
I wouldn't bet against it, but seriously, could have been anywhere in Brazil. That's the thing. It's not like you feel like, oh, if I go to Bahia, it's gonna be oh, I guess it's better, but it's unfortunately, Brazil has an issue with that. Which is like what people say, like they're building a beach. I don't know if you caught the beginning of the show, but they're gonna build an artificial beach, like you see those beaches out in China and stuff, Japan, in Faria Lima, which is this very famous kind of street here in Sao Paulo. That's like the business district, and it's got a certain type of people that walk there. In fact, they have a nickname here that they're called the Faria Lemurs. Because they are like little lemurs. They're all dressed the same. They all got the white polo with the black pants, and they're all working at the IT or the bank so you get it's like the yuppies, right? But less fashionable. And that's the type of people that are going to be at this beach. And I'm like, I would never go there. Like, that's just not a place I want to be around these people. And then you have this other place called Guarapiranga, which is already a beach. It's not even artificial. Like, it's not actually, I got to build one. But those people would never go to Guarapiranga because then they have to be around regular folks, And it's like, go F yourself, really. And that's Brazil, though. That's Brazil
how about Liberdade? Wasn't Liberdade one of the...
Liberdade is not getting a beach anytime soon. But it is...
No, but
it is changing.
It used to be a black neighborhood. Yeah,
right.
Now is a little Asia. It's Little Asia.
Very,
we
very
told the story
Asian.
a couple episodes ago. I forgot how many, but Liberdade got the name because there was a oh my god, now I forgot the whole story, but I think it was Chagas, and he had this revolt. Let me get it real quick. It's such a good story.
It was where they used to execute the black revolutionaries, right?
Exactly. And what do you call it? Yeah, it was the guy that got hung there, and it took him a while for him to die, and they kept screaming freedom, freedom, freedom. So it was adopted in 1831 as in honor of this military guy that was hung there. But I'm trying to get his name, and I can't find it for whatever reason. História. Nome do escravo enforcado. Either he was a slave or he was a military guy. I forgot, guys. No, he was a slave that he was hanged there in Sao Paulo. He was a soldier, though. Okay, so he was a soldier and a slave called Francisco José das Chagas. Okay, I got a point for Brazilian history. Also known as Chaguinhas. He was executed in 1821 in what was called the Largo da Forca. Oh, what a name. It was called the hanging mall. Largo is kind of just an open little space. So I guess like a mall, like Independence Mall. This is the hanging mall. After leading a revolt for... I knew I had to do it. It was like they weren't getting paid. Okay, so he led a revolt for the military people. It's similar to what happened in the U.S. I think it was after the Revolutionary War. They went up to like Virginia or something, and they shot some people. They shot some of the people that were protesting, not getting paid post-Revolutionary War. So this is a similar thing going on here. He was hanged, took him a while to die, and they kept yelling freedom. But then what happened, Travelmatic, is that especially after World War II, but even a little bit before, a lot of Japanese immigrated to Brazil. In fact, Brazil has the most Japanese outside of Japan, and they just went to this neighborhood and they just kind of took over. And I mean, there's a lot more that happened, before that, which is black people got pushed out of São Paulo. And if anybody wants a black tour of São Paulo, like that tells you the story of how a lot of these neighborhoods started, a lot of them having to do with rivers and where
there's actually a museum here.
Contact me. I can help you out with somebody.
There is actually
the Afro-American
a museum
near
Praça República that tells the story of slavery and black people in Sao Paulo. So I mean,
cool
I've seen like the museum. I have never actually been inside it, but if that's like an area of history you want to explore, it's there, man. Like you can see it.
No, but Pete, there's a difference between going to a museum and actually taking a walking tour, and then you go to a neighborhood that's like totally different, and then the lady's like, you see, like one thing I learned on this tour that I didn't know is a lot of times you're walking around the city and you see these big walls. You know, it's like a house, just this big wall, and then there's water coming out. And it's like, yeah, that's like sources of rivers. And when Africans were freed, a lot of them lived by the rivers. They had the quilombos, you know, which they still exist today, which is these little communities, and they're by these rivers. But as the coffee plantation started to grow, and you start to see Paulista Avenue start to grow, because all these areas are around Paulista. You know, these were old villages back in the day, and a lot of black villages. Black people started to slowly start getting pushed out of the center of the city, which is why I always say to people, if you're a black traveler, I know the show is general, guys, but I know I got a lot of black listeners that are interested in this stuff when they come down here because of the history of Brazil and, you know, slavery and how many Afro descendants are in Brazil compared to other places in the world. So when they come to São Paulo, they get disappointed. They're like, oh man, I'm walking down Paulista. It's very European. It's cool, but like, what's Phil talking about? You got to go to the suburbs, guys. That's where all the history is, because that's where black folks got pushed out to. And that's why the suburbs are mostly black. White people don't like to go so much there. Black people don't like to come so much here. That type of thing going on. And that's pretty much how the city's built, you know? So one thing that's happened, and I've said this a lot on the show, is that folks from the suburbs have kind of taking space in the center. Like they've kind of ventured out a little bit more since we've been here. So Pete, you'd probably agree. Like if you go out to these areas now, it's much more multicultural. You see a lot of different people there than you did before, especially like downtown São Paulo, more than like Paulista, Augusta and stuff that got gentrified. But downtown is like a mix of everybody. It's real cool. It wasn't like that before. Not that much. Anyway, I've talked too much. We've all talked too much, in fact. It's late, okay? It's time to go to bed. This is supposed to be a 40-minute show. Pete has no faith in me anymore because I tell Pete, you know, our guests kind of had to cancel. We'll do a quick little chit-chat for 40 minutes. 2 hours later. So Pete,
but we had Andre on, and Andre is always a pleasure to talk to.
It is always a pleasure. And guys, I say this all the time. This is like mental health, you know, like I love talking to you guys. I love everybody that supports the show. It's a de-stressor and it's so much fun. And I'm just having a great, you know, time doing this show. Get to 100.
Yeah, man, I appreciate y'all having me on.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. Always a pleasure to talk to you. You're a crazy motherfucker, and crazy friend. And
crazy
we're glad to have you.
Yeah, there you
go. I'm crazy about Brazil, man. That's why I'm always here with y'all.
Brazil is a great place, guys. There's so much to see and do. And that's my outro music saying good night to everybody. Thank you for listening to the Brazil Expat Journal, the BJ you can trust. We will be back next week, hopefully with a very good friend of the show that you guys will remember if you've been listening for a while. I'm excited for that one. Anyway, guys, see you soon. Bye.
Peace out.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.